Hi Flosstube, this is Mare. This is Flosstube number 3. I'm Sin City _ cross stitcher here on YouTube and on Instagram. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome to anybody who's new here. Starting these videos is so difficult. I don't know why it's so difficult to start these videos, but I hope everybody is doing well and staying cool, enjoying the beginning of your summer. I know it's ridiculously hot here in Nevada, as I think it's hot everywhere, but yeah, it's just so warm. And we keep our house around 80 degrees just because my husband likes it hot and we're kind of frugal. So if hopefully there won't be any sweat dripping down my face. It's just I'm in a constant state of sweatiness here. It's just awful. But today's video, I am going to do a patriotic FFO parade. Just show you all of my previous patriotic finishes, and then we'll do whips, starts, all that jazz. So I'm gonna start. I have about, I don't know, maybe a dozen previous patriotic FFOs, and I think the first half of them are freebies. So I haven't looked. I think you can find most of these still. I actually have not looked it up. It's been a while since I've stitched them, but I'll see if I can. I'll try to link some of them below if I can. But this first one is from Pinker and Pumpkin. It's a freebie on her blog. She has a whole salt box series, and this was one of them. I don't remember the exact name of it, but yeah, it might be like 1776 house or something like that. But this was stitched on a 14 count Ada that I dyed myself using Rit dye, and I really like how it came out. It was a fun stitch. And then I just made it into a pillow, and I used this backing and did the whole, I cut a slit, put the felt on the back, and then the edging it's two different trims. I just wound them together and put them on. My shirt, it says, "Welcome to camp. Quit your bitchin'. Happy campers only." It's a reminder to myself because I have a tendency to criticize myself in my stitching, so in my videos. So I need to not do that. This one is a freebie from Helen D. She's East Coast Crafter on Instagram. So if you go to her Instagram page and go to her link tree, she has a whole bunch of freebies. They're all like with these words. Super cute, super quick stitches. This one I stitched on a black Ada. I think it's like an opalescent. There's a little bit of, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of sparkly a little bit in there. Yeah, you can see the sparkles in the black. And then I stitched this with a variegated floss from a Wicked Stepmother. It was like a red, white, and blue floss. In a Wicked Stepmother, you can find them on Etsy, and they release new flosses every once in a while. They don't have like a whole huge inventory. They think they just put them out as they dye them. And then I just I made it into a pillow and stuffed it with polyfill. And then I've got the 2022 charm on there. So this one I did a couple years ago. The next one is another Pinker and Pumpkin freebie on fabric that I dyed myself. I think this one is called Betsy U, and yeah, super quick stitch. Just made it into a pillow, and then I put this, I think it's called Raffia, on there. The next one is, I think this is just called America the Beautiful. It was another freebie. I thought I I've held on to a lot of these printouts, but I don't know what I did with them. I don't remember who designed this one. Oh, it was called, they were called Oak Haven. And it was just, yeah, it was a freebie. And I think I might take it off this board because it's, you can see the words up there. I can't quite get it to stay. But I just finished this on some backing board with fabric, and I put that batting here, and then I did another board with more fabric. This one does not have batting, and then the stitched piece does not have batting, and this is just some chenille trim. So maybe I will just keep it like this and put it on an easel instead of this board. But this one was before I started putting charms on, so I think this one was, maybe I did this in like 2020, 2021. And this one is Lizzie Kate freebie called Liberty, and you can find this on the Lizzie Kate blog. I did this one in 2022, so this might be one, I don't know, I might redo this one. This is just on a board that I think I got at Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. It was on clearance, $4. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it matches, the fabric matches the backing, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll redo it, I don't know. Okay, and then my last freebie is America. This one, I think they're called Whispering in the Wind, is the designer. And I did this on an antique blue Ada 14 count, using all the called fors. And looks like I stitched this in 2020. I used to put my initials and the date. I used to stitch them into the piece, and I stopped doing that. I don't know why, but yeah, I really like this one. I think it looks good in that frame too. This is, I might have thrifted this frame. Okay, I actually recorded this video once already. I recorded it last Saturday. I recorded it, and I realized that I had forgotten to say half of what I wanted to say, and I forgot to show half of what I wanted to show. I just was like racing through it really, really quickly. I don't know. I don't like being the center of attention. So like, why is she doing a floss tube, you ask? I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to, you know, I don't know, better myself, or just trying to grow and change as a person. And you know, this is super far out of my comfort zone, so I'm hoping that, you know, putting myself out there will help me be more comfortable with myself and more comfortable socializing, and I don't know, we'll see. So anyway, I'm going to try to slow down because I was going way too fast before. So this one, out of all of these, this is the one that I cannot remember the designer or the chart name, and I just did this one a year ago, but I cannot remember. But if you want to know, you know, just if you're interested to find out what this is, I'm sure I have it written down somewhere, so just ask me in the comments below, or you can message me on Instagram. I don't have an email just for Flosstube right now. Maybe at some point down the road I will create an email, but right now I don't have an email. So I just put some white rickrack on there. There's the backing fabric. My charms is 2023. And this was stitched on some kind of linen. I think it was like an Irish linen or something. But this was super fun. I really like this one a lot. It's one of my favorites, I think. Okay, this one is from Bendy Stitchy. I don't remember the name of it, but I stitched this last year. and just finished it as a round, and I put it on this box that I painted myself. I didn't do the greatest job, but there's nothing inside. I should put something in there. And then it's just there's batting and rickrack. So that was cute, fun stitch. I like that one. Okay. This one is from Little House Needleworks. It's part of their it's a series. I don't remember the name of it right now, but I think there's 9 charts. And at the time that I purchased this and stitched it, I had no idea that it was part of a series. I just saw the 1 chart and I really liked it and purchased it and stitched it up. And then it was after that I found out that it was like part of a series. Little Americans, I think, is the name of the series. So I think I stitched this on a 14 count Aida. I stuffed it with walnut shells, put the slit in the back, and this was a label that my mom had given me many years ago when I used to sew different things like clothing and other things. And then this is 2022 charm. So I did this one 2 years ago. Okay, just a few more. Saving the best ones for last. This is from the Tiny Modernist, and she has a whole bunch of mouse patterns. I don't know the specific name of this one, but she has mouse patterns for a lot of different holidays and seasons, and they're just so cute. I think I used all the called for colors for this. This is so fun to stitch. It's on a 14 count Aida. And I was really happy with how the finish came out. This is from Target on the $5 spot a couple years ago. I put this together in 2022, so I don't know if Target has these this year, but I painted it. And then I have some backing board that with, I can never think of the word, and I already used that word today a couple times, the batting. I don't know why I can't remember that word. Batting and fabric, and then this board has I don't think there's batting in there, it's just the board, and then there's batting under here with the mini vintage rickrack. I love that mini rickrack. I think it's so cute. But yeah, that's that one. And oh, here are the patterns. So that America the Beautiful, it's a freebie, so I can show it to you. But that was from Tanya Papin of Oak Haven Designs. And then the America one that I showed you in the white frame, it's actually called Stars and Stripes by Whispered by the Wind, and it's a freebie. Okay, and then where's the other one? I just had one. Oh, okay, well, this one is Stitchy Stars by Lori Holtz. I stitched this in 2021, I think, for Colorado Cross Stitcher, her cross stitch camp. That was her first year doing cross stitch camp. I stitched this in June. I don't remember what the requirement was. Maybe stitch a designer that you've never stitched before. I'm not 100% sure, but this is on a 14 count Aida that I dyed myself. And then my husband actually made this board for me. I think on the pattern they finished it on a very similar board, and I believe that they said maybe it was from Hobby Lobby, but my husband does a little bit of woodworking, very basic woodworking, and I asked him if he could make that board for me, so this is what he came up with, and I just painted it and mounted it on the board and put some red rickrack, and I absolutely love this one. It's one of my favorites, and this pattern was so fun. I actually want to stitch it again, but I want to stitch it with like fall colors. I think that would be really cool. One of these days I'll get around to doing that. Okay, and then my last one is, this is by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And again, I don't remember the exact name of the pattern, but it's a series. She has like the series with the baskets. I have the Halloween one I need to stitch also, but this was a lot of fun. And it's on it looks like it's on maybe a 16 count Aida. And then this board, I'm not sure where I got this board, but it might have been, you know, one of the craft stores. And then the backing board and blue rickrack, and then I put the batting under this one, and then buttons, and oh, it's my charm. So I did this one in 2022. This is another one of my favorites. I really like this one. And that is it for my previous finishes. And then we can move on to what I have been doing since I last saw you. I think I last filmed in May 26th was the last time that I filmed. And like I said, I filmed last Saturday because I wanted my videos to be every 2 weeks. And so I filmed last Saturday, and I watched it back, and I was like, I just forgot like half the stuff that I wanted to say and half the things that I wanted to show. So I was like, I'll do it again. But by that point, it was like late afternoon, and I was tired, and I was like, I can't do it again. So I was gonna do it during the week, during one of my lunch breaks, but then I didn't want to be rushed. So, you know, I'm doing it today. So 3 weeks after my last video, but that's fine. At least I have now more stitching to show because I had an extra week. But this is, I have two fully finishes since the last time that I filmed. And I showed this finish last video. It's Star Spangled by Threadwork Primitives. And I had finished stitching it by the last video, and then I just FFO'd it a couple weeks ago. I think right after that video. It's a little wonky, but it's stuffed with fiberfill. And then if you can see in the pattern, they have a strawberry down there. They actually give you the template to make that strawberry. So I attempted to make the strawberry. And I attached it with this lace. It was white lace. So I wanted to make it a little more primitive looking. So I actually sprayed it with this vintage spray. And I got this from Curly Girl Crafter. You can see her name at the bottom. Curly Girl Crafter on Etsy. And you just spray it a few times, and it, you know, she uses this a lot for her cross stitch fabric. She is actually, Bonnie is one half of the Flosstube Unfinished Stitches. She does it with her daughter, and they film like once a month. It's a good, really good Flosstube video. I highly recommend you checking them out. They have a lot of, they stitch a lot of different things. And Bonnie is in Colorado, and her daughter is in, I want to say Maryland, maybe. And so they'll do like a Zoom video, and then once in a while that they're together in person, they'll film in person. But anyway, it's a fun video. Check it out. And so I got the vintage spray from Bonnie. I haven't tried it on cross stitch fabric yet. I just tried it on the lace for now. And then I had an extra piece of the lace, so I covered the slit in the back. And then I have the bulb pin with some buttons and 2024 charm. And then my last FFO is Clement. This is designed by Mama Loves You GB. She is on Etsy and on Flosstube. And she has a whole series of these cute little owls. It's kind of like a Mill Hill kit. I mean, it's not a kit, it's just a PDF pattern, and you know, you have to provide your own floss and your own beads. There's just, In this one, there's some beads right here on his wings and then around his eyes. And I think that's it for the beads. And then I actually finished stitching this one in January, but I did not have the black sequins for the eyes. It took me forever to find that. I couldn't find it anywhere. And I finally found it, like a package of multicolored sequins at Walmart several weeks ago. So I picked that up, and I want to stitch more of these from her. So I figured I can, you know, I have a whole ton of different sequins now, so I'm sure I'll use them for something eventually, but I just put some sparkly sticky felt on the back with a hanger and a button, and I'll put him on my Halloween cross-stitch tree next year, or this year actually. Geez, Halloween is only like, what, 4 months away, a little over 4 months away. Crazy. Okay, so that is it for my FFOs. Let's see. Okay, now I can like put all those things away because they have been sitting here in my craft room for a week because I tried to film the video a week ago, like I said, and so I was running around my house pulling all my Patriotic finishes down, and so like all of the spaces where they've been sitting have been empty for like the past week. So like I need to film this so I can put all those put all those back. Okay, so now as far as what I've been working on for the past 3 weeks, I have a start and a partial finish. So I know I showed you in my last video, as part of my plans, I wanted to stitch this one, Grand Old Flag by With Thy Needle and Thread. I absolutely love this pattern. I don't know what it is. I think it's the primitive colors. One of the colors called for is this tartan plaid, which I love. And then there's only 2 other colors, 22 DMC and 3023 DMC. So let's see. I have finished 2 of the patterns so far. I just have 1 more to go. These are so fun to stitch. I am stitching this on 18 count Ada Sleeping Bear by Needle and Flax. This is the first time I've ever stitched on needle and flax. So it's very pretty. Very, very slight modeling. And I'm hoping I can fit that 3rd pillow down here at the bottom. So then I'll just have like a whole other half of this fabric to use for something else. But the last pattern I have to do is that, this one right here in the middle. So yeah, I mean, it only took me a couple days to stitch each one. And I'm keeping that in this bag. This is made by Jenny of Patchwork and Poppies. I was in her Bag of the Month Club last year, and this was she asked if I wanted a patriotic or summer bag, and I asked for a patriotic, so this is what I got. And it's a cute little zipper pull, and then she always has like a tag so you can write your project in. I haven't done that just because I knew that this was going to be a pretty quick project and it wasn't going to be in this bag for very long, so I didn't bother putting anything on there. And then look at this tomato. It's so cute. It's so cute. I mean, her I know I've said this before, but her bags are just the absolute best. And I love that she just puts like a white fabric inside, so that you don't have to worry about a darker fabric bleeding onto your cross-stitch pieces, which I've heard can happen. Even though, you know, inside fabric is nice and fun, you still get that at the top here. You still get the fun inside fabric, and then it's just the white on the inside. But yeah, I just love her bags. They're so nice. And she always gives you like a, in her bag of the month club, you always get like an extra. Okay. And then, oh, another finish. Now I had shown you this magazine in my last video. It's from June and July of 1991, called Cross Stitch Quick and Easy. And I'm stitching those hearts, and I want to put them on a tree. Probably I'm not gonna get it all done this year, but I do have the tree, the little wired tree from Hirschner's. I'm going to show you a better picture. This is what they all look like. And so I finished one so far, and I have 2 more to go. This is just a white Aida, and I don't remember what called for flosses are, but I'm using 498 for the red, and I don't know what the blue is because I lost the colored tag that goes to it, but it's a DMC. Let's see. It's probably 312 because it calls for 498 Christmas red, which I am using, and it also calls for 312. So that's probably what this floss is. So yeah, so now I just have to cut it out and try to sew it into a pillow ornament. It looks like it's not complete here, but that's just, it stays white, and then when you make it into a pillow, it's going to be kind of rounded up here at the top to make the heart. And it called for, there was a specialty stitch. I don't know the name of the stitch itself, but I decided to put beads in there instead. And then I'm just keeping this one in a bag that I made myself several years ago. And this is actually, if you probably recognize this fabric, it's the same fabric that I used on that Lizzie Kate's freebie Liberty. So I just want to have 2 more of those that I need to stitch up. And they're pretty quick, a couple days. I was able to stitch one in about a couple days. Okay, then my next whip is the Deadly Aquarium Sal. I know you've seen this one everywhere. Everybody's stitching this one, but it's just so good. I am really behind, really behind. I think she just dropped the 4th exhibit yesterday. It's a lionfish and some other fish, so cute. But I don't know why that's my cat, if you can hear that, she's snoring. I don't know why I just don't gravitate towards this. I think I'm just really wanting to stitch the Patriotic right now. And I'm stitching this on an 18 count Aida from Seraphim Fabrics called Arctic Lights. It was part of the, I'm in the Fabric of the Month Club with Garan. And, you know, one month you get Fabrics by Stephanie, and then the next month you get Seraphim, and back and forth. So this one was a Seraphim. Gorgeous fabric. I really like the fabric. It's an 18 count. My stitches are just so tight. I know I mentioned this before. I'm doing 2 strands on 18 count, and my stitches are really tight. Like, if you look up, you can't really notice it in the, you know, in the video. But if you look closely, it's not, they're not as neat as I would like them, but whatever. It is what it is. I mean, nobody's going to be, like, taking a magnifying glass to my stitching. At least I hope not. So, yeah. This is in I got this bag from Garan several years ago. They had a whole bunch of different state bags that they did. And this is their larger bag. I don't know the exact measurements of it, but they usually sell like 3 different size bags. And this one was the largest bag they had. This actually, this bag for several years housed my temperature butterflies chart that I was doing from Stitchin' Mommy, because you know, there was a lot of floss, and it's a nice big bag. It holds a lot. I actually have this same bag in the smaller size too. Okay, my next WIP, and this is in another Jenny bag. She's Jenny Stitching Simply on Flosstube, and on Instagram she is Patchwork and Poppies, and she has an Etsy store, so you can go to her Etsy store and sign up. A couple weeks ago she had posted that she had more openings in her Bag of the Month club. I don't know if she still does, but one good thing about her club is you can sign up for whichever months you want to get a bag. So if you're interested in getting a Halloweenish bag, you can sign up for the Halloween, you know, the October bag, or you can sign up if you don't want to get a bag every month and you just want to get a bag like every other month, then you can sign up that way. It's cool. You can just pick and choose which months you want to receive a bag. So this is the little zipper pull that she put on there. It's got a squirrel. It's so cute. So this one is Autumn is as Joyful by Leela Studios. This is like part of her Quaker series. You know, she has the Halloween Quaker, Spring Quaker, and she has a Summer Quaker, which I'm actually stitching on also. I need to pull that one back out since we're in summertime, but I just haven't. I've been focusing on this one because there's a sale going on for this. We started in January, and it was started by the Black Cat Stitchery, which is an LNS in Illinois. They have a Facebook group called Autumn is as Joyful Sal, and they've broken this pattern out into sections. So every month you stitch a section, and it's very very doable, very achievable. It's, you know, it's easy to do, I guess, the way that they have it broken out. So like in January we did this section, and then February we did this section, and March we did over here. April we did this section, which was a lot. The squirrels in the top of the acorn, and then in May we did this over here, and then in June we're doing, I think June is like this and all of these little motifs down here. I am stitching this one on a 20 count Aida. I think these patterns call for a 40 count, but I've never stitched on 40 count. I've never stitched on anything smaller than 32 count. So instead of 40 count, I chose the 20 count because it's, you know, basically the equivalent to a 40 count. And I don't know what I'm stitching this on. Like, I don't know the dyer. I usually try to keep that information in my bag with everything, but I don't see it in here. I think I might have gotten this fabric at Hobby House, so it might be like a mushroom light or something. But this is as far as I've gotten. So I just completed the May section last week. I was working on this. I was on a Zoom call last Saturday. What is it, Across the Pond, that Angie from Tiny House Stitcher hosts, and Stitches and Diamonds also hosts it. It was the first time I've ever was ever able to join in one of those Zooms, and it was fun. And I got to stitch, like, I think I finished the cat during that Zoom call, and then I started on the June portion, which is here. So yeah, this is, I just love this. I love her Quakers. I love Quakers in general, but this is a lot of fun. And the squirrels are just so cute. So the idea for this is, you know, they've broken it out into little manageable sections every month. And the plan is to hopefully have it done by the end of the year. I just recently saw a video from Samantha, the Huga Stitcher, and she is starting this in September or October, and she has also started a sale. It's the same hashtag. It's called Autumn is as Joyful Sal. If you want to check that out. Okay, and then I'm just looking at my planner here. I don't use, so this is my, what they call a book of days, right? But this isn't the official book of days. This is not made by, who is it that makes that? Needlework Press, I think. This is actually from Big Lots. And I've been using these for the past several years. It's a teacher's calendar, so it goes from July to June. And when I first started watching Flosstube and found out about these calendars, it was right around April, May. And I just happened to find this calendar that started in June. I was like, oh, that's perfect. You know, I can start keeping track now in July. So it's basically the same layout as the Needlework Press calendar. So it's got nice big squares to write in, and then it's got like a section over here where you can write your whips or your plans. And then at the top, you know, it's got the date, the month. And I just sticker it up like, you know, a lot of people do, and write in what I stitch on every day. I don't keep track of my whips over here. I have a separate Excel workbook that I use that I keep track of all of my whips, all of my finishes, my plans, things that I've purchased. I have a tab for like pretty much everything. I keep track of, you know, like I have a whole list of whips, and then I have another tab where I just keep track of like, okay, this is what I want to focus on in March. This is what I want to focus on in June. I'm, like I said in the past, I'm an accountant. I work a lot with Excel spreadsheets, so this was just a natural thing for me to do. So anyway, here I'll show you my June. I've got all these papers in here. This is June. I like to highlight. So all of my new starts I highlight in yellow. And then my finishes I highlight in a different color. I usually just pick a different color every month. I don't stick to the same color from month to month, but it looks like this month I chose blue. And then at the end of the month in the here I'll put like I had this many finishes and this many starts. And then like Garan, they do a designer focus of the month, so I put that up there to remind myself. I don't participate every month. It just depends on, you know, if I have a pattern by that designer, or if there's a pattern that I want to stitch from that designer. Garan has, I want to say it's like 10 or 15% off all of the patterns for the designer of the month on their website. But what I do is like, this is May. So in May I had 4 starts and 4 finishes, which is, you know, that's good. At least I didn't have more starts than finishes. It was equal. So I started and ended the month with the same amount of whips, which is always a good thing. I mean, I want my whip count to go down, but if it doesn't, that's fine. As long as I'm having fun, right? That's all that matters. So anyway, in June, it's getting so warm in here. My air conditioner turned off, and I don't have the fan on because I I think the last video, the overhead fans were causing a lot of noise issues, so I didn't turn them on, but it's getting really hot in here. Okay, so then after Autumn is as Joyful, I had some new starts. So, oh wait, no, sorry, one more whip. This is the Pride Sal. This was a 2022 Move Forward in Love Pride Sal by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is on a 16 count cinnamon by Bestitch Me, and I am stitching this with sulky, because I know I've mentioned in the past that on the 16 count 2 strands of DMC is really tight for me, and on this particular fabric anyway, and 1 strand just isn't quite enough, so I had a lot of the sulky colors, just, you know, basic red, white, and blue colors, so that's what I'm doing. But the vine work he did in navy, and I didn't have a navy sulky, so I just chose it's like a limey green. It's not really, I can see it there. So I spent 2 days on this, and I did this border, and I think I did a couple. This is the wrong direction. I was like, wait a minute, that's not where I stitched. It's supposed to go like this. So I did the border here, and then I did like the bird and a bunch of leaves and some vine work, and I did a couple of these here. So I still have a long way to go. This is probably going to be a long-term project. You know, I'll stitch it a couple days every June. This is in a bag that I made. I don't have a rainbow color bag, so I put it in this butterfly bag that I made. But I did put this little rainbow charm on here. I love this fabric. It's very pretty. It's like a lavender. Okay, let's see. Next. Oh, this is another whip. This is Christmas Patriot by the Nebby Needle. It's in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine from 2018, Christmas Winter. It's in black and white. But at least you can see what it's supposed to look like. And I just worked on this for a day or two. And that's where I am. I kind of messed up because the called for is weeks dye works, and I think I only had 1 of the colors. And this is a small pattern, so I was like, well, I can just, you know, there's a DMC conversion. I'm fine with doing the DMC. But I messed up because all of this light blue in here is actually supposed to be white. But I was like, I'm not tearing that out. No, 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 no. It's fine the way it is. So yeah, it's all right. I actually had started this one a couple years ago on an 18 count. I just was not crazy with how it was turning out. So this is just a 14 count craft store Ada. And this is in another bag that I made. This is using the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial. Okay, and I think, oh, one more whip at the bottom of the basket. This is the Appalachian Trail piece that I'm stitching for my sister. I'm stitching this on, that's another Bestitch Me, maybe, oh, Pink Chocolate. It's a 16 count Ada pink chocolate. But it looks lavender. And purple is her favorite color, so I thought this would be a good choice. And I'm just stitching it again because it's the 16 count Be Stitch Me Ada. I'm using Silkies for that. And let me show you the pattern. Again, it's in black and white. I'm sorry, but my printer costs a fortune to print anything in color. So that's the patterns by Tiny Tractor Beam Studios. And basically, it's just, this is all backstitched in here, and then this says class of 2023. I'm going to change that to 2024. And then this is called, I think it's called a trail badge. Every year the color changes. This year it's yellow. So I finished all of the backstitching of the states, and I put a little bit more in that badge, and then that red thread is the trails, and that shows I'm filling it in as she hikes along. So you can see it kind of ends a little in New York, but she's actually in Connecticut now, so I have to do a little bit more on this. But she's going to be hiking all the way up here to Maine. So she started on February 26th. Today is June 15th, so she's almost 4 months in, and she has about 6 or 7 more weeks, I think, until she gets to Maine. So, it's been really fun. If you're, I know I've talked about it before in previous videos, but she does a daily vlog. Her videos are like usually 8 to 15 minutes long. She just, you know, vlogs as she's going along on the trail, and she'll show you where she's staying. She stays in hammocks. They have shelters, but she prefers to stay in her hammock, and she strings it up between 2 trees and sleeps in her hammock. And sometimes she'll stay in a hostel. Every once in a while she actually stays in a hotel. You know, so she can like do laundry and get a shower in and have decent Wi-Fi so that she can upload her videos. But her videos are like 3 weeks behind. So if you're following her, she's hiking with Jenny on YouTube, and her videos right now, I think she's in Pennsylvania, but she's actually has made it up to Connecticut. So it's very exciting. And then this is another bag that I made. Cute little bees. Okay. So that is it for my whips. And then new starts. So I think I have like 3 new starts. This one is Freedom by Tralala. I'm stitching this on a Be Stitch Me Macchiato. This is a 28 count. And the called for are Gentle Arts mostly, which I only had one, which is the Midnight for the dress. That was the only called for overdyed that I had. So all the others I just substituted, like the red of this flower, I used Raspberry Parfait by Gentle Art. The blue flowers, I'm using, I think it's a color in cotton called Lapis. Yeah. And I decided to, the called for hair color was a brown, so I just tried to find something that was close to my hair color. So I'm using color in cotton limoncello for that. And then I think all the rest are pretty much the DMC conversion. So this was 2 days of stitching. It's so cute. I really like this one. It's a fun stitch. Although I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of stitching like vines and leaves and stuff. I don't know why, but it's not my favorite thing to stitch. But this piece is just really cute. And I've had this for several years, and I've been wanting to stitch it for several years. And I was like, I might not get it done this year, but at least it started, and you know, I can come back to it next year if I need to. Oh, the leaves and the vines is called for Green with Envy, which I didn't have, so I am using Weeks Moss for the leaves and the vines. This one is not in a fancy bag. It's just in a Ziploc bag. Old-fashioned way of storing my whips. That's how I used to store them back in the day before I knew that there was such a thing as project bags. I probably could just put this in another one of the Patriotic bags. I mean, it's small enough I can just store them together. Okay, my next one. You can probably guess what kind of project is in this bag, but this is another bag that I made myself. This is another one of those tiny modernist mice called Mouse's Strawberry Jam. Super cute. I love the colors. Do you ever listen to Flosstubers? And you know, a lot of Flosstubers have certain catchphrases that they use, like I don't know, Laura from the Cereal Starter, she says, of course now that I'm like on camera I can't even remember what she says. Nothing is coming to mind. Ugh, do you do that? Like, I'll have like this whole speech in my head, like I'm talking to you guys, and it sounds really good in my head, and then when I come to record, it's like everything is just gone. But I sound so eloquent, and you know, it just sounds good in my head, but then when I try to go to say it, it's, as soon as you turn that camera on, everything is gone, and then you just sound like an idiot. But you know, Flosstubers, they have, a lot of Flosstubers have like catchphrases, not necessarily on purpose, but just not even just Flosstubers, but people in general. There's like certain phrases or certain words that they just like to use. And again, it's not on purpose. It's just, you know, a lot of people say like I'm sure I'm saying in this video a lot. But one thing I noticed watching myself back is I say super cute. I say that a lot. But anyway, this is Tiny Modernist Mouse's Strawberry Jam. It's on a 14 count Aida that I hand dyed myself with some Kelly Green and Pearl Gray Rit dye. And I was trying to match it. To me, on the cover of this, the fabric looks a little light, like a light green, so I was trying to match that color. And I think this is like 2 days of stitching. Again, I didn't have a lot of the called for Weeks Dye Works. I actually didn't have any of them, but I did order the color of the jam jar, because you can see there is some variegation in there, and I wanted the variegation. I should have gotten that color in her dress too, because her dress is variegated, but I don't know, somehow I missed that one. So I did end up getting the Louisiana hot sauce, which is the color of the jam jar, and I got grapefruit, which is the color of the strawberries. And I think all the rest I'm just substituting with DMC. I am having some issues though with the vines. So the vine itself, I'm using Weeks Dye Works Juniper. And I chose, I think that this color here was the DMC conversion 906, I think. Maybe not. But I don't know. It just seems to blend in with the fabric too much. So then I chose the Gentle Art Shutter Green, and I did these two leaves up here. So I'm not sure how I feel about that one either. And actually it's really getting blown out. And it's not coming across. I guess I have to get really, really, really close. But so I haven't decided which green I want to go with for the leaves. So I decided to go down here and work on this while I figure out what green I want to do for the leaves. So, man, my arm is tired from holding that up. So I'm stitching this for Marjorie Made on Instagram and on Flosstube. I'm sorry, I think I just shook the table. She started a sal called Strawberry Moon Sal, and so I am stitching this for that. I had the pattern and I was like, oh, that's a perfect excuse to start it. Just jump in on another sal. Why not? We can always use another sal, right? Okay, so then my last one is Funky Chickens by Satsuma Street. This came out Market 2024, and it's just so fun. I don't know what it is about chickens lately, but man, I love chickens. Just wanting to do all the chickens, buy all the chickens, stitch all the chickens. They're just super cute. Well, hey, there you go, super cute. So I am using, well, it calls for Cosmo, and I only bought 2 of the Cosmos, and then I'm doing the rest there's a DMC conversion, so I'm doing the rest in the DMC conversion, but I realized that I don't have all of the colors yet. I thought I did, but I can't find them, so I have to run out to the store at some point. So here's where I'm at on this one. So just a little start. I'm missing, there's another purple in here, I think it's number 35, so I'm missing that color. So I haven't filled that in yet. But these are the flosses. I just attempted to make egg-shaped egg-shaped floss drops, but they're more oval. These are the 2 Cosmos that I have. So, and then the rest are the DMCs. So a lot of fun colors. And I'm stitching it on 28 count white Monaco by Charles Craft. And this is a stitch along started by Allison of Mrs. AZ Family Zoo, and it's called Funky Chicken Sal. So if you want to, join us, please post on Instagram your photos, and you can use that hashtag. And this is in a bag that I made specifically for this project. I had the fabric for a while, and just hadn't gotten around to making the bag, and then I had this little chicken charm that I stuck on there. I think I found this at an antique store. So yeah, love that fabric, so cute. Okay, I think that is it for my stitching. Now I will, things that I've purchased. Okay, things that I've purchased. I'm actually proud of myself. I haven't purchased anything, or, well, I have purchased, but not a lot. So my big purchase is this awesome basket. I have had my eye on this for years, and I finally treated myself. So it's like super sturdy. Got this reinforced bottom, and can fit a bunch of whips. This is from, oh my goodness, 18, it's like, I think it's like 1805 Ohio Basket Company or something like that. I will link them down below. I got it purchased, I think it was on Etsy. I purchased it from Etsy or their website, but I'll link it down below. But it's just so cool. I like it a lot. So like I said, I've had my eye on this for several years, but I just didn't want to pay. I think it was like $90, and then shipping and handling. I'm just, like I said, kind of frugal. I mean, I don't like spending a ton of money on things because we've got 2 kids that we're trying to put through college, so I'm trying to save money. But I was actually destashing some charts, and I had to go into my PayPal account to send invoices, and there was like $150 sitting in my PayPal account. I'm like, what? Not from the charts that I sold, but just from before then, from probably years ago when I was selling stuff on eBay. There was like $150 sitting there in my PayPal account. So I was like, oh, well, and I just decided to get that basket. So with that money that has been sitting in there that I had forgotten all about, didn't know about. And let's see, what else did I purchase? Oh, I got my Fabric of the Month Club. This is for May from Fabrics by Stephanie, and I got a 32 count Lugana in Gray Magic. I really love this color. This was actually a Fabric of the Month color a year or 2 ago, I think. And I stitched Hoot in the Boot on it. And then I gave the other half to my friend Barb so she could try out. It was, that one I think was 28 count Lugana. One thing that I really love about the Bestitch Me Club is you can just go in and change. You're not stuck with one particular count of fabric. You can go in and change at any time. So I was getting 16 count for maybe 9 months, and then I switched to 28 count, which I was getting for like a year and a half. I really like the 28 count. And then I was like, well, let me try a 32 count. So I did get 32 count for a couple of months. I haven't actually stitched on it yet, but I am concerned that I might not be able to see it, because not only that, but then I realized that the 32 count was basically the equivalent of the 16 count Ada, which I struggle with, like the 2 strands versus the 1 strand. The coverage isn't, it's either too tight or too loose for my tastes. So then I realized that the 32 count was going to be the same. So I think I got maybe 3 months of the 32 count, and then I've just now switched to the 20 count Ada. I love stitching 1 strand on 20 count Ada or 2 strands on 28 count. So far those seem to be my favorites to stitch on. Let's see. And I actually only purchased 2 charts in the past 3 weeks, which is like really good. I've done a lot of window shopping. I don't know if you all do that, but somebody will say, oh, we're having a sale on this or whatever. Like Lindy Stitches was having a sale on something, and I think Kitten Stitcher was having a sale on something. So of course I had to go look, and I started adding a bunch of stuff to my cart, and then I'm like, do I really need this stuff? And so then I walk away. But I'll spend like a good chunk of time, 30, 45 minutes, just looking through their inventory and adding stuff to my shopping cart. And I get my cart's up to like $100, and then I just kind of walk away. But if it's something that I keep thinking about, then I'll come back and purchase it. But so far I haven't done that. I've just been adding stuff to my cart and then walking away. But this one I purchased on Etsy from Asbury Echoes. It's called One Flag, and she has a Flosstube And she's a designer, so she designs a lot of primitive pieces. I'm like, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I'm a very eclectic stitcher. I like everything. Like, I love the primitive, I love the bright colors, I love samplers and cutesy. I mean, not too cutesy, but you know, like those funky chickens are cute, and the mice, the tiny modernist mice are cute, but they're not too cutesy. But yeah, Rhonda has a lot of really cute primitive designs on her Etsy shop, and you can get the PDF, and some of them she does have the paper copies, so I just ordered the paper copies from her because I mean, the cost of shipping is probably equivalent to what it's going to cost me in ink to print these, especially if I wanted to print them in color, because her charts, I can't really show the chart itself, but it's in color, which is really nice. And this is the other one that I love, Independence Day. It's one of those nice long little pillows. So really cute. She has really cute design. She has like these square farm animals. She has like a pig, a chicken, a cow, a bunch of different little farm animals that I'd like to stitch someday. And I highly recommend her Flosstube. She's a lot of fun to watch. Her son sits next to her when she films, and you know, has input here and there, and they live on a farm, and it's just a fun floss tube. So I highly recommend her Flosstube. Let's see, what else? So I thrifted this frame. So I definitely want to put a Patriotic piece, cross stitch piece in here. Just love this frame. It's so cool. It was like $5 at the thrift store. And the last thing that I purchased is actually not cross stitch, but they were done by a cross stitcher. So Mrs. Alice and Mrs. AZ Family Zoo, she and her husband own an animal sanctuary in Arizona, like the Phoenix area, and they rescue injured like turtles, chickens, dogs. I think she said she has a pig. I'm not 100% sure, but she has a floss tube video, and the last two videos, at the end of the video, she's done a short backyard tour where she takes you around and shows you some of the animals that they have. The last video she showed was some turtles, and I don't remember what else she showed, but she's going to continue that in her next few videos. She's going to continue sticking on a video of her animals at the end. But she has an Etsy shop, and she has a web page, and she sells things like project bags. She makes jewelry. She has pot holders. What else does she have? I don't remember what else she has on there. I know they've got a calendar with all of their animals, and any proceeds, anything that she sells, all the proceeds go to help feed her animals in the sanctuary. So her last floss tube, she showed these not pot holders, these Patriotic placemats that she had made, and they were just so pretty. I immediately went to her Etsy shop, and they were already gone. I mean, that's how adorable they were. But I had made a comment about that, and she's like, "Oh, I'll make you some." So she made me my own placemats, and they are so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. She's got her little tag on the back, Mrs. AZ Family, or AZ Family Zoo. So each of them is a little different. They all have like a nice big flower in the middle, and then all this fabric around the edges is a little different. There's that one, there's that one, and that one. I told my kids and my husband no plates are allowed on these placemats. Like, they're just so pretty. I don't want to get them dirty. She did say they're washable, but you know, I don't know, it always makes me nervous. Like, am I gonna have to iron it after I wash it? And you know, what if they get a stain on it or something? So I just have them on the table as decoration, and then whenever we set the table for dinner, I put some different placemats out. So I highly recommend checking out her Flosstube and her Etsy shop. Like I said, you know, any sales that she makes, the proceeds go to help feed her animals. So that is, I guess that's it for my purchases. I guess plans. I don't know. Should be like, what are you not going to stitch on? Because I just need to stitch on everything. Let's see. I need to try to get caught up as possible on the Deadly Aquarium sale. She releases every Friday, but we have next Friday off. So that means I have 2 weeks to try and catch up. I still have stuff to do on the frame, and then I have you know, those 4 exhibits. I did start number 2, which was the algae stuff. I did start that one, but I still have all the other exhibits to finish. And I definitely need to work on my June portion of the Autumn is as Joyful sale. I need to finish that. Those are definites for June. I also would like to finish that Mouse's Strawberry Jam, just because it's for the Strawberry Moon sale, and that's only for the month of June. So I would like to get that finished if possible. And then like all of that Patriotic stitching that I started, I would like to try to finish some of it. I don't want to have to, you know, put too much of it away until next year. I would like to try to finish as much as possible. And I would like to start one or both of these. What else? Oh, I have this one. I really would like to start this one. Sampler of the Sea by Carriage House Samplings. It's very summery. Got the lighthouse and the whale, and I lived on Cape Cod for like 4 years, just a couple miles from the beach, and we also lived in Plymouth, right down the street from the beach. So I have a lot of like summery beachy things hanging up in my bedroom, and I would really like to get this started. I think after this video, after I clean up, I'm going to work on kitting this up, seeing what I have, seeing what I need. It calls for needlepoint silk, which I don't have, so I will probably do the DMC conversion. I mean, the motifs and the letters are small enough that I don't even think, like, actually, does needlepoint silk have variegation? Is it variegated? I don't know. I have one that I'm stitching something with, but I don't recall if it's variegated or not. But anyway, I mean, this is small enough that the DMC will be totally fine. It's well, 117 wide by 89 high, and it's on 32 count. So I could do it on I'll see what I have for 32 or 28 count. I don't know if there's any, yeah, I don't know. So I guess that's it. I do have 5 days off starting today. I have 5 days off from work, so I'm hoping I know I'll be able to get a lot of stitching in today. My husband and my youngest son, they spend their Saturdays playing Magic with some friends, Magic the Gathering card game. So I have like all of Saturday to myself. So after I clean up this mess, put everything away, kit up this project, I'm going to sit down, catch up on some Flosstube and stitch. Tomorrow we're going to go, my oldest son, he's 21, he's just finished his junior year in college, and he's spending all of June at a ranch near the Grand Canyon. He was one of like 24 students chosen for this pilot program. It's a 6-week, no, I'm sorry, it's a 6-credit, 4-week field field class. I think that's what they call it. Some kind of field something, field study. And there's 24 of them. They're all living on this ranch, and they just go outside every day. They're learning a whole bunch of different like science type things. Like they're learning archaeology, forestry, planetary sciences. Where they are, it's well, I live in Las Vegas, so you can hardly see any stars because there's so much light pollution. But where he is, out near the Grand Canyon, you can just see so many stars. So they're going to be doing that. They've also learned how to fly a drone, which he was so excited about. So he just finished his 2nd week, so he's having a really good time, and it's all free, which is like so nice. Because it's a pilot program. So basically the kids this year are the guinea pigs for this class. But we're going to go out that way to visit him tomorrow, and just to get out of this heat. We're going to go to Flagstaff, and it's like, oh gosh, I don't know, like 20 to 30 degrees cooler there than here, because it's in Arizona, and you know, when you hear Arizona you think hot, right? But Flagstaff is in northern Arizona, so it's like 20 to 30 degrees cooler than here. They're at a 7,000 elevation. So it'll be just so nice just to get away for a couple of days, get out of the heat, do some hiking. My husband and I, we love hiking, but this time of year you can't hike here in Vegas. It's just too miserable. You'd probably die. I mean, it's so hot. Although my husband does get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go mountain biking. It's crazy, but he's just so dedicated. He loves mountain biking. He'll do it like 3 days a week. But he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning anyway for work. So some days he'll just get up, go mountain biking, and go to work after that. So yeah, looking forward to getting away for a couple of days, going to Flagstaff, going where it's somewhere cooler, eating, hiking, seeing my son, and we'll see what else. I don't know. Oh, and my youngest son, he's 18. He just graduated high school last month, so that was really exciting. I did not cry. I did not get emotional, which was really surprising. I did for my oldest, probably because it was like my first kid graduating high school. It was a huge deal. And my youngest son, again, it's a huge deal, of course. I mean, I just can't believe how fast the years have gone by, but I have him home for another year, which is good. The school that he was going to, it's a college, but it's also a high school. He was in the dual enrollment program, so he was taking, in his junior and senior year of high school, he was also taking college classes. So he graduated just last month from high school, and he also completed his freshman year of college. So he's going to stay at the same school this coming year and finish his sophomore year, get his associate's degree, and then I don't know what his plans are after that. He's not sure. He wants to be a writer, but he doesn't think that he can make a living at it. He says it's very difficult to make a living as a writer. I mean, you have to be like a really popular author. At least that's what he says. Both my sons are actually, they love to write, and they've both been working on like kind of a science fiction novels, like, I don't know, a series, multiple books. Both of them have been working on their own. My oldest son has no desire to be an author or to publish the book. He just says he does it as a creative outlet. But my youngest son, you know, he really enjoys it and would like to become an author, but he doesn't think that he could make a living at it. So he's not sure what else he's interested in doing. So hopefully this extra year at home will give him more time to think about it, and then then we'll see from there, you know, if he's going to go away to school or go to a local school. Las Vegas really doesn't have much as far as colleges go. There's the University of Las Vegas, UNLV, and I mean, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I mean, that's what's going on here at my house. I hope you all have a nice not rest of your summer, because hopefully I will be back before the end of the summer, but I hope you have a good couple of weeks, are able to stay cool, and hopefully you can get away, go on some vacations, get a lot of stitching time in. So I'm just gonna say goodbye here. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and all of those things, and I will see you guys back in a couple of weeks. Thanks. Bye.